Jason Johnson is on the phone with us this morning, former Yakima police officer, K-9 officer. Jason, good morning. Thanks for coming on with us this morning.
Good morning.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
I'm reading your Facebook post. I think you did a great job on it. It says, catch me live today on NewsTalk 1280 KIT as I discuss our newest Project K-9 hero member, K-9 Chief, our Rehabilitation and Rehoming Facility, and the K-9 Hero Act, as well as the K-9 Flash and our rise from Yakima's first Narcotics K-9 Team to the American Humane Hero Dog Awards Law Enforcement Dog of the Year in America. And welcome to the show, Jason. Where do we start? Boy, Project K-9 Hero and Flash, that's kind of where you started, right?
Yes, it is. And, we're so excited to be carrying on her legacy. Flash passed away at 15 years of age last May. And, we're making sure that her legacy lives on forever by the heroes we're taking care of with the example of K-9 Chief and Moses Lake. And a lot of people, I think, in your community are going to be familiar with his story, how he was recently shot in the line of duty, lost an eye, had a broken jaw, and he was recently, just in the past week, medically retired from the Moses Lake Police Department. And our organization, one that Flash and I started, is able to give back to our home area up there and make sure that Chief's medical bills are taken care of for life. In his retirement and his food.
That's awesome. How's Chief doing?
He's doing great. I've spoken to the handler a few times this past week. What a lot of people don't understand is when a law enforcement dog retires, like Flash or like Chief, there's really no programs in place, so there's no funding set aside by the agencies they served. And that doesn't matter if it's the city, the county, the state, or the federal government. There's nothing set aside to help them with those bills when they retire. And as we all know, if you've been shot in the face and lost an eye and have a broken jaw, somewhere through your life, you're going to continue to have some medical issues. And so we want to be there for that team, and we want to be there for K-9 teams all across America to ensure that that financial burden is not being absorbed by the handler. They're not making any extra money to help pay those bills, and they can't necessarily take money in personally from the community. And that was one of the main reasons we started Project K-9 Hero in 2016, is to make sure these handlers and K-9s had an outlet to go to through a legal national 501c3 organization, and we step in and pay those bills for them.
Wow, what's the support been like? What kind of support have you seen around the country here from Yakima? People I take it are probably just loving to support you, right?
It's been absolutely amazing. We have dozens of corporate sponsors. We have supporters. I think we have over 50,000 donors in America right now. And, a lot of those are from the Yakima area. I know I've been on your show a few times. We've talked about Flash's book, K-9 Flash Becomes a Hero. Yeah. I will mention that we're working on a second book, K-9 Flash, A Hero's Hero. And that book is going to take us up to the time where she won the American Humane Hero Dog Awards Law Enforcement Dog of the Year, where we were in Beverly Hills. We've been on the Hallmark Channel, CNN, Headline News. We had an appearance on the Today Show in New York City. So it'll cover all those things and how we're really trying to change the way police canines are cared for in retirement. And we're doing that through the K-9 Hero Act. And, unfortunately, we were going to, we'll talk about that a little bit, we were going to call the act the K-9 Flash Act, but for a broader spectrum of retired police canines and military working dogs, we have changed the name to the K-9 Hero Act, which is a current bill, H.R. 5081, on Congress right now.
And well, tell us a little bit about that.
But
what will that do?
Okay, so it's really legislation that's going to allow federal funding to be granted to national nonprofits like ours who pay medical retirements for retired federal law enforcement and for retired military working dogs.
Okay.
And that's about half of our program. Of the 83 dogs we've had in our program or currently have, about half of them are federal law enforcement and or military working dogs. So any money that we spend on their medical can come from that grant money. And that's going to really help us spend, the extra donations on more dogs like Chief or other law enforcement dogs. And we've had 9 dogs in the state of Washington in our program. So we've been giving back quite a bit to that area. And we just took in an application this week from Olympia PD from a dog who's lost use of its hind legs. It has a little cart, and it's one that I'm reviewing right now. That dog would be our 10th dog if we can financially think we can support it, for the rest of its life. And every day we're getting more applications off the website, and but it's my responsibility to make sure that we're raising the money and doing so. So with the K-9 Hero Act, we have a link on our page. Our page is projectk9hero.org. You'll see the K-9 Hero Act tab, and people can get involved by contacting their local senators or congressmen, and we have links on there how to look yours up, or we have example letters, and let them know why the K-9 Hero Act is important to them, and that they feel that retired military working dogs and police canines deserve a healthy retirement.
Oh man, we know that many people do. We've thousands of people here in the Yakima Valley that listen right now. I'm sure if either reached out or will. You have a rehoming facility that you're trying to get up, right?
That's correct. We bought 177 acres with our foundation in Tennessee, between Chattanooga and Nashville, and it's a beautiful piece of property. And we also have a link on our page, capital campaign for our rehoming facility. You can see a kind of a fly around of what we're doing there, but it's really going to be a state-of-the-art type of facility where police canines or military working dogs who do not have a home when they get out of service can come live while we help adopt them and find a forever home. So what some people don't know, not every dog gets to live with their handler when they get out of service. Sometimes the handler, like in my case, I moved down from Yakima to federal service and went overseas in 2008. And, Flash went on to 2 additional handlers, but she needed a home when she retired. There's a lot of law enforcement dogs out there who fall under different circumstances that sometimes the handler just can't keep them. Yeah, and people reach out to us, to adopt them. Well, this will give us an opportunity to immediately bring it into our facility, let the dog kind of unwind and relax from its police service, and really have the people who want to adopt and come out to our facility. We'll have 2 adoption cabins there, and they can come out, spend a weekend with the dog, make sure it's a good fit not only for their family, but a good fit for that dog before we turn them over to their forever home.
And they don't have to be law enforcement, do they?
No, they do not. Yeah. We have an adoption link. It's on our website, projectk9hero.org, and it's right at the bottom of the page, and you'll see an adoption link. And we keep all those on files. We don't have any up for adoption for today, but throughout the year they do arise. And if any would follow us on our Instagram at Project K-9 Hero or Facebook, we post those opportunities as they become available on there.
It's really interesting to me as the full circle here. As I drove into work this morning, Jason, this is Dave, there was an ad on the air about how important dogs are in dealing with people's PTSD, people who have served in Afghanistan and Iraq, and the effort to get dogs, trained dogs, into the hands of our vets. And so we're looking out for our vets by bringing them in contact with a dog. And here we're looking out for our dogs by trying to bring them into contact with good people. So it's an interesting bookend for me as I listen to you guys this morning.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. And as you've been listening, folks, you know that obviously you've got some ways that you can reach out. Jason, tell us ways that people specifically today can help your organization.
Yeah, so the best thing to do is go to our website, projectk9hero.org, and you'll see ways we have a shop there. We have a lot of nice shirts and apparel and different things that people can get to represent our brand out there. We have links to our capital campaign, to our facility that we're building that we just spoke about. We have links to our K-9 Hero Act, which will greatly help us. We hope to get that passed this year into legislation at the U.S. Capitol. And then we have our K-9 Heroes. We have an interactive map, and you can drop down and look at. We're in over 24 states right now. We're around 30. We're probably around 30 to 32 states, I believe, right now, and we're trying to increase that. My goal is to have a dog in 50 states, all 50 states over the next year or so. And Chief was our 83rd program member. Flash was our first in 2016. And we hope to reach over 100 by the end of the year. And one of the best ways to follow as we're doing that is to follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Project K-9 Hero. And you'll see we post on there 2 to 3 times a day of all the great things we're doing. And we couldn't do all that without the support of the community, and I certainly can do that as a former Yakima police officer without the support of the Yakima Valley. So I thank everybody who's been listening.
This sounds like a full-time job for you. I mean, this is full-time now. This is what you're doing now, right?
It is, absolutely. Yeah. The first 3 years I volunteered. I still worked government contracts using my K-9 skills, and I own a separate company, Paradigm Defense Concepts, where we teach, law enforcement and military, K-9, and other use of force and tactics and shooting, using my skills that, I developed in the military and the police force. But my real passion is with Project K-9 Hero. I'm a full-time founder and CEO now. And, when I started this program in 2016, I was still in the federal government. We made maybe $50,000 in donations. And, I worked hard. In 2017, I actually quit my full-time job to put more focus on this. We did about $500,000 in the last 2018. We did about $1.4 million, and this past year we've just over about $2 million and 50,000 donors, and that's how we ended up with so many great dogs in our program. And I believe we're going to reach over 100 in this next year. So it's been tremendous growth, and we certainly couldn't do that without the support of the public and the great corporate sponsors we have. So if there's any corporate sponsors listening, I always say if you own a business, and even though we're in Tennessee, we have a lot of roots in Washington. We have 9 dogs in Washington State that we've helped. With our building or a donation or materials or in-kind donations, we're always looking for corporate sponsors to get involved. So you can reach out to us on our website or contact us, or anybody else who might have a certain skill set who wants to get involved can reach out to us on our website. We're always looking for help to further our mission, further our goal, and take it to the next level. I truly believe that we're on a path of greatness with what we've been able to accomplish in 4 years. Getting the K-9 Hero Act already introduced to Congress and having our bill on the floor right now was no small feat. I probably made 12 individual trips to Washington, D.C. on my own to meet the right people, talk to the right legislation, and really get my ideas out there and try to make them see what the importance of police canines in our communities. And I think what a lot of them don't understand is a lot of people think that, hey, doesn't the dog retire with its handler? A lot of them do, but that doesn't mean that those medical bills are being taken care of. That doesn't mean they have the extra money to take care of them. And, we're here to make sure that no canines who served our country, whether it be police or military, goes without the care they need just because the funds aren't available.
Sounds like we got the right man for the dog. The dog job, right? We appreciate what you're doing. This is a dog-loving community. This is a dog-loving station, and we're delighted to help share your progress out there. One more time, if the average person wants to just help out with $1.20, how do they do it?
They contact us at projectk9hero.org. We have a donate page on there. You can set up recurring donations, and I encourage everyone to follow us on our social media at Project K-9 Hero. And lastly, I want to thank all of the entire Yakima community, and especially the Yakima Police Department for, allowing me to serve my time there. With all the things I've done in my life, I certainly could never have gotten to where we're at today without serving the community in that aspect. So I'm so grateful for the opportunity to have worked for that community, worked at the Yakima Police Department, and I'll never forget everyone there, and everyone there who's helped me out gets